Before the time of cars and trains, and even the first paddle boats, there were steamboats. Steamboats were introduced to the world in the late 1700s and soon became a popular form of transporting people and goods. In 1769, an inventor named James Watt created an engine that would be powered by steam alone. Once the steam engine was introduced to the world, people started to use these new engines to power their boats. Downtown Peoria, home to a variety of attractions such as the Civic Center, Caterpillar headquarters, and the Peoria Museum. However, it is also home to an object that cannot fit into a museum, the Spirit of Peoria. The Spirit of Peoria is a pure Americana ship, Americana meaning it was purely built for tourist attraction. It is currently owned by Captain Alex Greaves.
Graduated high school in 1988 from Dunlap. I graduated in 1992 from Bradley University, and what was a unique opportunity, the Spirit of Peoria was actually going to be sold. It was going to be sold to Louisville. It was going to be the sister boat to the Belle of Louisville, Kentucky. And so there was an opportunity to possibly keep the boat here in Peoria. So right before it was sold, my father and I wrote a business plan and gave it to the city of Peoria. And we said we'd like to lease the boat, keep it here, and have a 5-year lease with an option to buy at the end of that. We traveled the Illinois, the Mississippi, and the Ohio River. Okay. So we've been, we focus mainly on the Illinois. We travel north to the Starved Rock State Park on a 2-day, 1-night adventure, and we go south down to St. Louis for 2 nights, 3 days, and we actually have a 4-night, 5-day trip to Hannibal, Missouri. This was built as a packet boat, and it was designed after a packet boat, and the packet boats were designed to carry people and mail. So it was a unique boat, but the reason it was built for Peoria, and it was built for 1988 in 1988 because the Julia Bell Swain was leaving the area. Okay. And I think it had 2 reasons. One, the Julia Bell Swain was leaving, and the dock was going to be open. But also, riverboat gambling was just just an idea to be tossed around that the boats would be coming to Illinois. And in order to get a gambling license, you had to have a dock, and you had to have all these different parameters. And so Jim Jumer, who built the Spirit of Peoria in 1988, I think had that forethought to realize that if he built a boat and had it here, someday he would be able to get a gambling license. Okay. And that's exactly what happened. He ran the boat for a few years and got a gambling license, and then put the gambling boat right here in Peoria. What makes this boat so unique is that it is a true paddle wheeler. The big red wheel in the back is our only means of propulsion. Now, it's not a true steamboat, but what makes it drive is diesel electric. Being built for Peoria, we have 2 Caterpillar 3412 diesel generators on board. And these generators create 350 kilowatts of electricity. All of our AC power that powers our kitchen, our air conditioning, our heat is through these generators. Then we rectify that AC power to DC power, and we send that back to 2 electric train motors. And these train motors turn large chains that drive the paddle wheel. It has the lines of an old boat. It only drafts 4.5 feet in the water. It's a flat bottom, just like they were. It's 47.5 feet tall.
In 1785, John Fitch retired in Warminster, Pennsylvania, where he began to come up with the idea for a steam-powered boat. By August 22, 1787, through many trials and experiments, John Fitch finally had a running steamboat. The small boat functioned by using a steam engine that operated simple paddle boards that propelled the vessel forward at roughly 8 miles per hour. The boards were underneath the boat and operated much in the same way as a duck's feet are used to propel itself. Using this boat, John Fitch carried up to 30 passengers from Philadelphia to New Jersey. While at first the business of ferrying people seemed profitable, the cost of making one of these boats proved too costly and led to John Fitch's business to die out in 1791.
You know, we've had our ups and downs, and sometimes I feel like I'm like a farmer where we can make money in the summer, and sometimes we have to borrow money in the winter, but then we get our cash flow back again in the summer. So, I mean, it's been a good business. You know, I've been able to raise my family running the boat. Well, it varies. I mean, year to year, we're constantly working on it. We're changing paddle boards out quite frequently, since that is our main propulsion system. As we travel down the river, if we hit a log or hit a stump, I mean, if we break a board, that's what it's designed to do, is to break the board so it doesn't damage anything else, and then we'll replace boards. But being a boat, you know, a boat is, if you ever owned a boat, you know that there's always something to fix and always something to do.
Yeah.
Again, we are one of the more unique boats because we are a true paddle wheeler. Most of the boats out there that have a wheel, it's just a fake wheel where it drags in the water, or if it does turn, it only produces about 10% of their propulsion, and underneath they have props and thrusters so they can navigate. The way our boat handles it handles just like they did 150 years ago. So people they want to come back and try a boat, you know, see a boat that's more authentic than the other ones. So being a true paddle wheeler, we're about the closest thing you can get these days. Funny thing is, we're going into our busy season right now.
Really?
Yeah, October is one of our busiest seasons because of the fall colors, the migrating birds, the cooler weather. So we're traveling a lot north of the Starved Rock, and then we've got one more trip down to St. Louis, where we'll be gone 6 days. But we're actually from May through October, we're pretty much cruising every day, sometimes multiple times a day. People don't realize that. A lot of times people think the boat just sits here. It's pretty much an everyday deal. When we go into November through March is our slow time, so that's when we'll do a lot of maintenance on the boat. We have a calliope on board, and they call it a calliope in the circus, or a calliope on a riverboat. And that was the riverboat's calling card back in the day, 150 years ago, when these riverboats would travel to town. They would play their calliope from 4 or 5 miles away, and the townspeople would know the riverboat was coming. They would gather on the shore, and they would want to be the first ones to be able to purchase the goods that were traveling to that the riverboat was bringing to the town. But no, we don't have a lot of neighbors anymore since the restaurants were taken down next to us. We've never really had any complaints with the calliope, but people understand that's part of our business, and we usually play that for 10-15 minutes before each cruise, and then it's off during the cruise because it's awfully loud up on the decks. We're expecting to continue. We've got cruises planned. We planned cruises 2 years out. All of our overnight trips are planned 2 years out, so we're already doing 2020 season and getting bookings for that.